Well, hello there, everybody. This is the Comedy Thief, and you're watching Funny Old Guys. And beside me is the good Dr. Fatpacker. Doc, say hello to our wonderful crowds.
Well, hello there. It's so nice to be back from vacation. Vacation is a lot of fun, but coming back to work is good. So stay with us today. We're gonna have
And we
fun.
missed you. And below me is homeless Charlie with another beautiful mustache and his lovely wig as ever. Say hello to our gang out there in video land there, homeless Charlie.
Well, hello to our gang out there in video land.
Oh, that was very good.
Oh, very nice.
That
Yeah.
was a long one, and you got it. So what we do, folks, is we tell jokes. You laugh. That you know the story because you watch us all the time. But before we begin, we have a point of conversation. So, Dr. Fatpacker, if you're walking down the street, a young lady stops and hands you a $20 bill, what would you say? How would you respond to that young lady?
Well, of course I would say thank you, but then I said, this is pretty good for an opening bid.
I like that one. Very good. And homeless Charlie, a young lady, you're walking down the street. She stops you and hands you a $20 bill. What would you say in response to that?
I would say, well, it's about time. I charge $100, and last night was a special, so you should have given me the $20 last night.
You filthy pig. You filthy pig. Well, mine is similar. If this young lady handed me a $20 bill, I would have said, young lady, I know the word's getting around town, but you don't have to pay in advance. Dr. Fatpacker, tell us a joke.
Oh, well, my nephew, he's very entrepreneurial. He bought a horse from a farmer for $250. Well, then he was going to get it delivered, but the day it was delivered, the farmer says to him, I'm sorry, but the horse died.
Oh.
Well, and my nephew says, well, give me my money back and it'll be fine. And he goes, I can't because I spent it already. Well, he says, okay, well, give me the dead horse. And he goes, what are you going to do with the dead horse? And you said, you just wait. So a couple of weeks later, the farmer saw him again. He says, what happened to your horse? He says, well, I raffled him off for $5 a ticket. I sold 500 tickets. Wow. He goes, what? He goes, yeah, I made $2,495. But didn't anybody complain? He said, well, only the guy who won, but I gave him his $5 back.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a guy. Homeless Charlie, tell us a joke.
Well,
yes?
Nothing happened.
You can do it, Charlie. Come on.
Okay. This police officer was questioning this man, and he said, so when was it that you noticed that your wife was dead? Ooh. And the guy says, well, sex was the same as usual, but the dishes started piling up.
Well, that takes care of that.
There you are.
Well, speaking of police, I have to read this one now. It was a hot summer day, and a blonde, she had her dog tied up under a shade tree, and she went into a restaurant, and a cop came in and says, is that your dog? She says, yes. He says, well, your dog seems to be in heat. And the blonde said, no, it's very cool under the shade tree. And the cop replied, no, you don't understand. Your dog needs to be bred. And she says, it doesn't need bread. I fed it very well this morning. And the exasperated cop says, no, you don't understand. Your dog wants to have sex. And the blonde thought for it said, hey, if it's okay with the dog, it's okay with me. Go for it. Dr. Fatpacker.
Oh my God. Well, the way I heard it worked was this way. In the beginning, God created the world and then rested.
Yeah.
And then he created man and rested. Then God created woman. Since then, neither God nor man has rested.
Oh, well, we just lost all the women there, Dr. Fatpacker, you rascal.
Hey, blame it on him.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Homeless Charlie, tell us a joke.
Well, I'll tell you what, unusual as it may sound, but I'm writing a book
Oh,
and it's going to be a redneck version of the Kama Sutra.
Ooh.
And the first position I describe is the reverse Piggly Wiggly.
I have no idea what that meant. Well, you guys know I drink too much.
We've
Last
seen
night-
it, yeah.
Last night was no exception. I drank way too much. But when I walked home, I didn't, I always fall on my face. I get up, I'm sloppy, but I made it all the way home, didn't fall once. This
Great.
morning, I felt something strange on my bed. Somebody had taped training wheels around my waist. And that's why I didn't fall. So who
My
cares?
goodness.
Dr. Fatpacker.
My uncle, he went to a funeral service for his wife, and she had just passed away. And as the pallbearers were carrying the casket out, they actually accidentally bumped into the wall.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they heard this moan from inside the casket.
Whoa.
Well, they opened it up, and the woman was still alive. She lived for 10 more years.
Wow.
And then she dies again. Well, they had another funeral, of course, and at the end of the service, as the pallbearers were carrying her out, he yelled out, "Watch out for the wall!"
Don't be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Homeless Charlie, tell us a joke.
Well, a fourth grade teacher decided to have her students give a short talk on what their father does for a living. And little Johnny's hand went up and he says that his dad is a magician.
Oh,
And she says, does he have any special trick? And he said, yes, he has this long box, much like a coffin. And he puts a child in the box, and then the box is sawed in two. And she says, wow, what a good trick. And tell me, Johnny, have you any brothers and sisters? And he says, yes. 3 half brothers and 2 half sisters.
the trick worked beautifully. Well, went into this Mexican restaurant and I'm waiting to order, and this Mexican couple beside me, their meal was coming. This big silver tray had opened up, and these 2 great big, looked like huge meatballs on this platter with all the rest of the food.
Yeah.
And they were huge, about the size of cantaloupes. And I said to the waiter, what are they served? And they said, well, it's a delicacy in Mexico, sir. Those are the bull's testicles. I said, I'll have the same thing. So my meal came out. They lifted up the silver tray, and there's these 2 little tiny ball about the size of grapes. And I'm going, just because I'm an American, I'm not from Mexico. He says, what's the big deal? They get the big ones, I get the little ones. What's up? And the waiter says, senor, sometimes the bull wins. That's
Ouch.
Dr. Fatpacker, tell us a joke.
Oh, well, here's 3 things to try to maintain a healthy level of insanity, right? First one would be sit in your car with sunglasses on and point a hairdryer at passing cars and see if they slow down.
Perfect.
Or how about page yourself over the intercom, but don't disguise your voice.
Oh, that is clever.
And finally, every time someone asks you to do something, ask if they want fries with that.
They'll really be confused. Homeless
Oh,
Charlie,
yeah.
tell us a joke.
Well, the other day I was in a bar and 2 very large women with accents are sitting across from me, and I say, hey, cool accents. Are you 2 from Scotland? And one of them yells, it's Wales, you idiot. So I said, okay, are you two whales from Scotland?
And that's when,
I don't much after that.
oh my God. Well, here's today's little quote. You guys have heard this, that marriages are made in heaven. If we've heard that, right? But then
Yeah.
again, so is thunder and lightning. Just hang on to that one.
No, that's okay.
Dr. Fatpacker, last one.
Last one, Val.
Last one.
I never wanted to believe that my neighbor was stealing from his job as a road worker. Huh. But when I looked across the fence, all the signs were there.
The signs were certainly there. Last one there, homeless Charlie.
Well, here's a quickie. We know we're all old, but the older I get, the less surprised I'd be if a random body part just fell off.
That would be very unusual. Well, here's another saying, which you guys have all heard. Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. But teach a man to fish and he can fool around with his wife when he's out fishing. Just remember that. So this is a Comedy Faith. On behalf of our guys here, we're saying goodbye. But wait, before we go, we have a special feature, and that is that we're going to invite a very famous celebrity to be on our next video next week. So anyway, we're going to invite Sammy Davis Jr. So Sammy, if you're out there, we want you to get back to us.
Excuse me, Comedy Thief. Sammy Davis Jr. died.
He's dead?
Yeah, they buried him with Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Together?
Yeah.
I think so.
I can't invite Sammy Davis Jr. How about Betty Davis? No, she's dead too.
No, you're not doing very well there on that.
I think we're going to invite
Betty White.
May Britt.
May Britt.
You are going to be on our next video. You have to check in 24 hours at funnyoldguys@gmail.com. And if you don't May Britt, you're going to end up in the damn trash bin. So this is the Comedy Thief saying goodbye. I'm turning it over to Dr. Fatpacker for his farewell.
You say things like that, and I start to frown in my forehead, and my eyepiece thing walks up. Holy cow.
Hey, the 3 words too. 3 words, doctor.
I know. I'm getting to that. Give me a chance here. I want you to subscribe, subscribe. And we will see you next time on Funny Old Guys.
Well, there you go. And then we turn down for his farewell to the homeless Charlie guy. Say goodbye to our enormous expanding crowds.
Goodbye to our enormous expanding crowds.
Everybody wave, and we'll see you down the road. We'll see you very soon.